Yes, yes. getting started real soon here. I see a bunch of people in the chat already. Welcome everybody to the P6 Live Studio Sessions lucky number 13. Lucky number 13. We got the house cat back again. Back again after, what, 2 weeks was it, Cat? Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks. She's coming in to help out. I thank House Cat for coming in for that. And tonight we have a very special show. Want to send also a big shout out to everyone who's tuned in. We got Academy Impossible, another TV viewer. Drew Diddley. We got It's the Fritz, Capsis06, MetaViews. And we also have a new Streamlabs, or we have a new follower, Gwait25. Welcome, Gwait25. And so tonight we have a band that I've been wanting to get into this studio for months, but because of weird social media experiments and stuff like that, it's been a little difficult. But I'm super happy to have them in the studio tonight, and it is the Josh Lopez Band. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Hold on, let me unmute you all because I gotta go through the run here. Get everyone unmuted. Here we go. Yes. Okay, you guys should be
awesome.
You guys should have some mics going.
Great.
Welcome so much, guys. I really appreciate you being here tonight, and it's been a long time coming. And for those who have seen these guys live, you're in for an insane treat tonight because they're gonna play some really bluesy stuff, some covers, some soulful things, even a little bit of funk. What do you think, Josh?
I say we do it. Yeah, let's get it on.
Yeah, all right. Okay, let's take it away for the first tune. I'm gonna get off this stupid mic here and let you guys take it away.
Well, don't you ever feel sad? Lean on me when times are bad. When the day comes and you went down in a river of trouble and about to drown, hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. I'm on my way, your lover. When you get cold, yeah, I'll be your cover. No need to worry, 'cause I'm here. No need to suffer, babe, 'cause I'm here. Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. Just hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. Reach out to me for satisfaction. Call my name, a quick reaction, yeah. when times are bad. When the day comes and you went down in a river of trouble and about to drown, hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. Just hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. I'm coming. Just hold on. Just hold on. Just hold on. Just hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Just hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Just hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. Just hold on, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. Just hold on. Just hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Holy shit. You guys don't hold back. I was like, oh, maybe they're going to get into, their session a little easy. Just start off slow. And suddenly I'm seeing shredding. I'm seeing double stops. I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. Like, you guys went full energy right out the bat. But that's what I love. I love
Thank
the
you.
fact that you guys did that.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
Jeez, holy smokes. Holy smokes. Well, you didn't disappoint on that level. Absolutely. And as far as everyone who is tuned in right now, welcome to the P6 Live Studio Sessions lucky number 13 with the Josh Lopez and band, or Josh Lopez band. You guys don't have a name yet, right? Is that how this goes?
It's been a work in progress for about 7 years, but I feel like we're slowly zoning in on something.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Slowly zoning in after 7 years.
Yes. Yes.
7 years someone becomes a doctor, right? You know that, right? 7 years, basically Elon Musk went to being a computer programmer to putting rocket ships on the moon, right?
Some of us do that, and some of us try to find band names. We all have our own journey.
I'm just busting your chops. I'm just busting your chops. And also, it is the whiskey talking. We had a little bit of like a whiskey incident earlier, and it was kind of fun. And we're trying to walk through that right now. Let me just bring the levels down, and we're getting a little bit of feedback. Welcome everyone who's tuned in. I appreciate you guys coming in, and we're gonna do a little bit of introductions after the next song. What do you think? You guys ready to do another one?
Yeah, let's kick into it.
Yeah, let's get it done. All right, P6 Live, Josh Lopez Band, Studio Sessions, lucky number 13. Let's do it.
is the sweetest song I've ever heard. Every whisper moves my soul. Yeah, she moves me, and the love it brings me home. She's got a way with touch. Feel the warmth of her caress and the rush. Got a way to hold me down as we sway to a symphony of love's hypnotic sound. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, teach me, feel me, yeah. Let me know that you need me. We can go, and we won't be back no more. You got away with me. You got away, yeah. You got away, yeah. You got away, yeah. Got away with time, 'cause she makes time stop when she's in these arms of mine. How the days just feel so long when she leave me, the very moment that she's gone. Love me, love me, love me. Move me, soothe me, groove me, yeah. Let me know that you feel me. We can go, and we won't be back no more. You got away with me. You got away.
Okay, I think we're done here. That is what a sexy tune. Jeez.
Thank you.
So awesome. And that's kind of like the signature Josh Lopez sound, man. Like that's just like woo.
We've been working at it for 7 years.
7 years, man. Some people get a doctorate. Some people get real sexy, right? Yeah, Kat agrees. Hey, Kat, what do you think? What's going on,
Can't
Kat?
help it.
Yeah, that was the nod of approval. There you go. 2 thumbs up by Kat. House Cat in the house tonight. Big shouts going out to son of Mari, who's loving the drums and the sax and all the things. Also, thanks for the bits, son of Mari. Really appreciate you. If you guys are watching right now, I see a whole lot of lurkers. Make sure you just start up a Twitch account. It's really easy. It's free, and just get in the chat. Let us know what's going on. We are doing all kinds of things tonight. If you have a drink, hydration check for everyone who is in the house tonight. And we have the Josh Lopez band. Look at these guys. Just all kinds of hydration going on. We got to make sure we stay hydrated. Doesn't matter with what. Don't judge us. All right? We're here for you tonight. We really appreciate it. So, the Josh Lopez band consists of, obviously, frontman Josh Lopez on the vocals and the guitar. We're going to talk about that a little bit later because that sound that you got going on there. And we were nerding out a little bit on the guitar and about how you got that configured. So anyone who's a guitar nerd in here is going to love the conversation a little bit later. We also have Rail slapping the bass. It slaps. Rail is basically a staple of the Toronto music scene. Anyone who knows anyone and knows Rail and how many times you've seen him on stage, you've definitely heard him. Let's put it that way. We have Graham on the he's doing the brass tonight. And the little brass tacks coming down to brass tacks, courtesy of Graham. Really appreciate that. And we also have Nick slapping the tubs. Nick. Hold on, let me turn your mic on there, bud.
Yay.
Yeah, Nick slapping the tubs. We need the tub slapper, basically keeping time tonight. And you guys can understand how professional a sound these guys and how tight they are. That is 7 years of tightness right there. And they are gracing the P6 Live Media Studio for Studio Sessions 13. Let's say we get into another tune before we get into too much conversation. What do you think?
Sounds good. Before we do kick into it, Rob, I just want to thank you for bringing us in. This is a fantastic thing you've got going here, and thank you for bringing us in and for everything that you've done on the music scene around Toronto. You've been a great support to many of us, so I just want you to know that.
Too kind.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Okay, I'll send you the e-transfer for that
Thank you,
comment
sir.
a little bit later.
Thank you, sir.
All
Make
right.
sure all the
Appreciate
zeros
it.
are there.
Yeah,
But it's great to
not
be here.
too
Rob.
many zeros. We talked about this. Let's keep it normalized. I appreciate that, Josh, and you and I have known each other acquaintance-wise a little bit for the last few months, ever since the last lockdown in last summer lifted, and I've seen you around. And I'm just like, holy shit, this guy, and he's a little hard to track down, which is why I don't post his socials right now, because it's who knows when they go offline. He's basically a Secret Service kind of guy, so we have to make sure that if we post any links in the chat that you're able to actually find them. But so I'll refrain for now, but we'll get into that a little bit later. What do you think we go into another tune? And again, I see a ton of viewers right now. If you are hanging out, don't leave Son of Mari hanging. Get in the chat. Come hang out with us and have a drink, and you are in for a treat tonight. Guys, what do you think? Next tune?
Let's do it.
Let's fucking do it.
I left my heart in California, where the skies are blue. And one day, my love, I'll be coming back to you. Oh, California, where the grass is green. Until I see you again, I will hold you in my dreams. For every moment that you feel so far away, there are 1,000 where our love, it feels like yesterday. I'll send my love to California, where it's swimming in the sea. If you should find it again, my love, my heart is yours to keep. Oh, California, cast my heart in stone. The way you've taken the one that I love so far away from home. The way you've taken the one that I love so far away from home. The way you've taken the one that I love so far away from home.
Fantastic. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. And the chat saying, on fire tonight. Yeah, you guys are jamming. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, anyone who has seen these guys live understands how good they are and how tight they are and the sound, because it's really difficult to do that level of tunage because there's so much dynamism. There's a lot of clean noises going on. There's not a lot of effects happening. And obviously, Josh's voice is just dialed straight in. Speaking of which, Josh, how did you get into music? How did you become the proficient musician that you are today?
Well, my father is a musician, and some of my earliest memories growing up were hearing him playing acoustic guitar or playing bass, which was actually my first instrument when I started
bass
playing
was?
music. It was actually double bass. So
Double bass.
double bass. So I was it was high school, I was the shortest member of the band with the biggest instrument, and it made bus rides very fun.
Are you saying it was an overcompensatory type of thing? Is that what's going on? Are we going to psychoanalyst?
Yeah, there's some deep-seated anyways, but it was a lot of it was that, and I remember the first time that I sort of went with him to a party, and him being a musician, one thing that I've come to realize as I've gotten older is that as a musician, you tend to accrue a lot of musician friends. And one of the things that you like to do is get together and jam and play music. And they were certainly no exception. And I remember one night going with them to a party and hearing them play together. And that was the first time I'd really ever heard anything like that, and I thought it was just the coolest thing. Prior to that, I'd sort of dabbled a bit, played a little bit of guitar, played a little bit of bass. Wasn't really serious about it, but after that, that kind of opened the doors and changed my world, So after that, I began to dig really deep into it and really get lost in it.
Was there a period where you just basically like hibernated and just worked at it? Because we hear stories like that all the time. Like, for example, John Mayer is famously public about how he had no social life in high school and early college because while everyone was going out to parties and drinking, he's sitting there doing a lick over and over and over again until it gets quote unquote fluid. Was that kind of like your experience as well?
Yeah, very much so. A lot of my university years, when I was probably supposed to be studying something else, I was locked away in my room playing guitar. And I mean, I used to play for hours and hours and hours. That was all that I did, really. And it was an interesting period, right? Because you kind of find yourself while at the same time you're getting lost in the music and getting lost in this world that it's really never ending, right? I mean, you could just spend forever in there. And, I definitely put in the hours of both, not just playing, but of listening. So during those university years, there was a lot of exploring different sounds, different kinds of music. I have a lot of diverse tastes, and a lot of that comes from that period of just digging into it. One of the things I used to do, which will quickly become non-comprehensible to young people growing up, I used to go to the library in London where I went to school, and I was very fortunate because they had a gigantic record collection, particularly of jazz albums and classical music, and I used to go and raid the library pretty much every week, so I'd take out as many CDs as I could carry, and I would just take them home and burn them. Not burn them,
You used to steal them. Come on.
I think it's okay now, right?
I think it's okay now. We're in a post CD world, so at the end of the day, stealing those is fine.
So I used to, take these collections home and just dig into them. Spend many hours listening and playing.
And in some sense, they were your friends, right? Like
100%. Yeah. No, that's a very real thing. I'll tell you why that's important in my opinion. It's important to spend those hours listening and playing, because when you sort of leave that bubble, you leave that safe space, and you actually link up with real players, real musicians, right? In a way, you're not necessarily ready, but you're more ready than you would have been if you just went in cold. So I think that helped a lot. And I played a lot with, I'm a big blues guy. So I spent a lot of time on the local blues scene there and hooked up with some really great players. And guys who were a lot older than me, who'd been playing for far longer than I had. And I learned a lot from them. And that really helped.
Any special influences there?
Well, there's one gentleman that I would like to shout out. I don't know if he's listening tonight, and maybe he'll hear this one day, but my buddy Bernie Wheelgoss was my drummer. Yes, Frame has played with him as well, and he sort of took me under his wing when I was playing around at the London scene, and helped me get some experience playing in places that I never would have gone to, playing with people that I would have never met. We went down to Memphis together.
No way.
Some time ago. Yeah, so got to hang out on Beale Street together, which is every blues guitar player's dream.
For real.
Yeah. So, personally, I would say that he was a really big catalyst and influence. When it comes to guitar players, I'm a big Eric Clapton fan. Stevie
Yeah,
Ray Vaughan.
we had a
those
little
guys, yeah.
little discussion about that earlier. Although Stevie would have something to say about your active pickups, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he probably would.
He would be like, "Man, you don't need active pickups. You just need louder Marshalls.
Yeah.
Just,
Well,
just crank them."
one of the things that I learned, I think one of the things that I've grown into recently is learning that you have to find your own sound, right? And I mean,
Absolutely.
it's all well and good to try and emulate the people that you admire and want to copy them note for note and try to capture that sound and throw 13s on this thing and raise the action up.
Hold on a
super
second.
high
You have 13s on there?
No.
No.
I used to.
Your fingers aren't bleeding
I
yet,
used to.
so
No. But that's part of it. I was like, well, okay, I can't. We already had Stevie Ray Vaughan. We don't need another one.
yeah.
Right. So
It's
I
also a
don't need to do
myth that Stevie had 13s. He had them on for a little period of time, and then it was just destroying his fingers. Then he
Sure.
went back
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
But,
And you got to find your own sound and find your own space and your own niche to occupy.
And you definitely have that in spades because, I mean, all the shows that I've seen you play, especially that last, like it was, 2 weeks ago?
2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was a Handlebar. It was incredible. I walked in kind of like in the middle of your second set and I was so blown away and the place was rammed and packed and it was just like everyone loving it and you guys are going into like half-hour solos and things. It was a good time and that for me nailed something special in that real music, authentic music, and I don't want to say real music, but like live music. Welcome J Bob into the chat. J Bob's out of Wisconsin. Biggest fan. Live music, people have been so starved for it over this last pandemic period. You saw it everywhere. Like it wasn't just in like certain circles and certain bubbles that people were just like, oh, live music. It was literally people who just didn't go. They go out to concerts maybe once or twice a year, but they realized it was something that they missed, and so that when the pandemic lifted, all this creative energy just exploded into the scene. You really couldn't have clubs open yet, but you could have bars and live venues going at kind of minimal capacity, and that brought out all this creative energy in the city. Did you feel that? Did you feel that there was like a weird shift that happened last summer?
It was, well, that particular show, I mean, from my perspective, it was probably the best show we've ever done. Obviously, the band was kicking. You guys were on fire. That's kind of a given. You never take it for granted, but it's a given.
Yeah.
That's what they do. But there was definitely, I was fortunate to have a lot of conversations with, people in the crowd during breaks and stuff. And the amount of conversations I had with people where they expressed that, oh, this is exactly what I needed. This is the first show that my girlfriend and I have gone to in 2.5 years, and this is amazing. So, and for us, as a band, I think that was our first show in at least 2.5 years, probably longer. So yeah, a long time, right? Long time. So I think there was a lot of pent up energy on both sides of the stage. People wanted it. I was no exception, right? I couldn't wait to get out and hear live music again, but I also couldn't wait to play. And all those things came together really beautifully. What I hope for is that, when it comes to a shift, I hope that it's indicative of people finding a new appreciation and new gratitude for live music, for musicians, and for art in general. I was just at an art show last week. A friend of mine put on this amazing show. She's a great painter. Sarah, if you're listening, shout out to you.
Big shout out to Sarah.
Yeah, and being in that environment again, amongst other creative people and artists, and amongst people who appreciate that sort of stuff, it was invigorating. And whereas before you might have taken that for granted, I certainly have a new appreciation for it.
Yeah, and I think that Toronto is kind of wising up to that, that need for authentic art and creativity, because our city was actually built on that. Like the current vibrancy of the city is built on live arts, live music, genuine, authentic creativity, and the live scene in Toronto is no exception to that. And all you guys are a great contributor to that. But before we get too long-winded in this discussion, let's do another tune, and I'm gonna get to the rest of you later. Like I'm looking at you right now, Nick. I know you're the quiet one here, so I'm gonna make sure to drill down into your history. Don't worry about it. We're gonna have that coming up. So what do you say we get into another tune?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
One, two, three, four. Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. And I think about all the things that you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. But since I come home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me, yeah. Why'd you come on over, Valerie? Oh, Valerie. Valerie. Oh, Valerie. Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale? Did you get a good lawyer? Hope you did catch your tan. Hope you found the right man to fix it for you. Are you shopping anywhere? Changing the color of your hair? Are you busy? Did you have to pay that fine? You was dodging all the time. Are you still dizzy? Oh yeah. Cause since I come on home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me, yeah. Why'd you come on over, Valerie? Oh, Valerie. Valerie. Oh, Valerie. Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. And I think about all the things that you do. In my head I paint a picture. But since I come on home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over?
come on over, Valerie? Oh, Valerie, Valerie, oh, Valerie, won't you come on over? Oh, Valerie, come on over. Oh, Valerie, won't you come on over, Valerie?
Oh, yeah. That was awesome. Obviously a fan favorite. Everyone loves every like drunk person on the planet comes up to the karaoke nights and tries to slam that tune, but you guys fucking nailed it. That was so good.
Thank you. I
So
have been
good.
that person.
Have
so,
you?
yes,
Well,
yes,
that's
I
okay.
have.
You're allowed. You're allowed. But when when you get like you know what I'm talking about.
It's better with the band. It's better with
it's
the
a
band.
little bit better with the band. Sometimes the vocalist, when they're not in that mood, maybe not. But at the end of the day, again, super fan favorite. Obviously, it's Amy Winehouse's very very hard act to represent, but such a great tune. Such a great tune. Obviously, it's actually not her original tune, but that's her version of it, right?
Yeah, wow. She made it her own, right?
Yeah,
she
she
made it her own.
totally made it. If you listen to the original, you're just like, what is this? What is this nonsense?
Yeah, testament to her talent,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely, and her interpretive artisticness. Okay, so let's go. I'm going back into like the interview process here because we gotta get a little bit. Sorry I threw so much smoke at you earlier. I had it set on DJ mode, right? Like it was
We want all
literally
the smoke. We want all the smoke. It's good.
Every
It's good.
Saturday in here we do a DJ show. So it's live bands every Thursday, live beats every Saturday. And so I had the smoke machine set on DJ mode, which is why they got blasted. It suddenly turned into a complete hurricane in here. But I appreciate you guys putting up with that. I want to talk to Rail a little bit. And if I'm gonna talk to you, you got to get right up into the mic there. Rail's another quiet one who I've had many conversations with in terms of your bass proficiency and your ubiquity around the scene in Toronto. You are the knowledge base. You are the institutional. I think Cat, what's going on back there? He's trying. What?
Just
What's
give me the distraction.
what's
so I don't have to
happening?
say,
What's even happening here? I'm just like I'm looking back. I'm just hearing all kinds of like things getting destroyed. We got to rethink our contract, Cat. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Talk. I got to talk to your agent. All right. But Rail, I have a big question for you. In terms of the scene in Toronto, because you have been such a staple in the scene for so long, and I'm talking about pre-pandemic. I'm talking about the nights I would always see you at Hideout, which is now closed. R.I.P. Rip Hideout, and all the other scenes around the city. A lot of people have thought that Toronto's kind of inaccessible in terms of like the music scene. What has your experience been like throughout that whole period?
Well, I don't think that I really agree with that. I think people get sort of like a little bit of a preconceived idea. Like if you were, we were talking about some of the jams before, like Supermarket Sunday, that's been running for 14 years. Shout out Tony and Steve.
Big shouts to Tony and Steve. Legends in the scene.
100%. I mean, I remember walking into that room for the first time. And it's
When was that?
I moved in the neighborhood. I haven't been going there as long as a lot of other people. I've only been around there for 7 years, I think, before, well, not including pandemic and all that. But, it was such a warm and inviting experience that I found I was super nervous walking in there because it's like you certainly see like a lot of who's who kind of coming in.
Yeah, it's a full stage and it can be intimidating, especially you see the nervousness that happens on that stage every Sunday, or not every Sunday, but every Sunday that they do it. Yeah.
But the thing is, my experience with that was that they were so welcoming and inviting. And then on top of that, it's not like just the who's who. It's like you had people who were just getting into playing and like their first experience going on stage, super nervous. And then other people that are just seasoned, experienced singer-songwriters and that type of thing, where they're just going to try new tunes that they're working on. And it was like super inclusive to everybody. So like, well, you hear people say things and it's just like, well,
do you think it's just like a perceived cliquiness? I think like because they see, you know, off stage, like certain groups all talk together and all that kind of stuff. And it's something I actually really want to dismiss because in my experience in those areas and every kind of open mic and all of a sudden I've played a few, everyone has been absolutely super welcoming. Like that barrier is a perceived barrier. It doesn't actually exist. Do you think that is kind of the openness has kind of increased post-pandemic?
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. I think that as well, like some of the other things that, you know, where those kinds of things, when people talk about them, they don't necessarily, like maybe they went into that room once.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh my God, like this is like, you know, whatever, it's too intimidating, there's too many people in here and everybody sounds so great and they don't come back. And that's where you hear a lot of those kind of stories when nothing could be further from the truth.
Yeah.
So, you know, from the first time I went in there and there's like 5 other bass players in there, all, you know, heavy Toronto guys. And I certainly knew who they were. You know, it's like we all sort of came to talking and meeting and just like get up and play a couple of tunes and just jam.
Yeah.
And they see.
And I've seen lots of superstars roll through there as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I don't know. I think the first time it opened up, the Supermarket Sundays. The first time it opened up, I think it was the September show. I think JP Sachs showed up to that one.
That's right.
Yeah, it was crazy, and he just jumped on stage and just did some stuff, not even talking about who he was. It was just he just think, and like only when he jumped on the keys is when I kind of recognized him. Like, is that fucking JP Sachs? What the fuck is going on here? Like, who's gonna show up next? Like Bono? Like, what's going on? Like, but yeah, it's in those moments. Those are the intimidating moments because you see. But afterwards, I talked to him. I talked to him and his dad for a while. Like he was just hanging out in town. It was super cool. And at least from my perspective, in terms of the accessibility of the scene and people being able to get up on stage with a lot of comfort, and there's so much new blood. Yeah. There is so much new blood rolling through the scene that I'm so excited for what Toronto has in store for the next few years because we are in for such a treat. But Rail, I've been trying to get you in the studio forever, and I'm so glad to have you here because we've had a bunch of we've tied a few nights off, me and you, and going around and hanging out and chit-chatting over beers and stuff. So I super appreciate you being here. But before we get again. The talking in here can get a little much, but I love to have people understand the history and the energy and the talent that's in here. So I do like to ask you guys questions. So I hope you guys don't mind that. But let's get on to another tune. What do you think? All right.
Let's kick into it.
All right. Let's kick into it. Let's do it.
You ask me, baby, how long have I loved you? Through all the sunshine and all the rain. Well, I'll tell you, babe, I loved you before I learned to call your name. For ocean tides were turning, for the sky was blue, for sugar was sweet and the blues became the blues. I was yours, baby, before I learned to call your name. Touch of your hand and the sound of your name, the light in your eyes are pictures in the frames. I was yours, baby, before I learned to call your name. So ask me, baby, how long have I loved you? And ask me if I still feel the same. Well, I'll tell you that I love you before I learned to call your name.
Classic. I love that vibe. It's so classic.
Thank you.
That stuff makes you feel really good, right? In the chest.
That's what it is.
Yeah. It's that lovey stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Big shouts going out to Son of Mari, basically asking you guys wants you to go down to Austin. Any plans to tour? What are you thinking?
What are you guys doing tomorrow?
Catch a flight.
Right, cool. That would be cool. I personally have always wanted to go down to Austin. Being a big Stevie Ray fan,
There
right?
you go,
I mean,
yeah.
there's the connection, right? But I understand that Austin has a wonderful music scene, very vibrant. People from all over the world, go down to Austin to play. So that's definitely one of the things on my list. Yeah, it's been there since well before the pandemic hit. So.
Hey, Son of Mari, you hear that? Like, go make some connections down there and like get in touch, and you can bring them down to
Let's do it. Let's
South
make it
by
happen.
Southwest. Let's
go.
Headliner right there. We'll get it done. You and I, Son of Mari, we'll make sure that gets done. So continuing a little bit in the question and answer period of the evening, Graham. You don't walk away yet. Don't you dare walk away.
Don't leave, dude. Don't leave. I need you.
Don't you goddamn dare. That saxophone,
Yep.
I see. It's very in the guitar world we would call it relict. Like it's got
we
some
would.
battle scars there.
I've gone through a couple saxophones. This one's actually like the newest of my saxophones, in the sense that I used to have some from the 50s. I had a saxophone from the 50s and one from the
50s.
60s.
Is that a thing? Like
Yeah, they're old. They're old. They were like
the
made
older ones
more
sound
by
better, or
people's
they're just
hands
better
at the time.
made? Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
so
back in the
ignorant when
day,
it comes to
back
that stuff.
In the day, they made saxophones more with like hand tools and stuff like that, and then it manufactured in like the 70s, and then this one's probably built by machines, and someone probably hand assembled it. But this is a Yamaha. It's not that old, and even though it's got some tarnish to it because it's had some work. It's not as old as.
You want to hold it up for the camera? Mags
Sure, yeah.
Mags Music 19, you're answering our question right now. It's a Yamaha what?
Oh, this is a Yamaha 62, YTS 62. I bought it off my friend who's a technician who just tweaked it out and it's kind of like Josh's Fender, where he's tweaked it out a bit. Has yours been like 15 years old?
This one would be
2005.
Jesus, it was like
I don't know.
22 years old or something. I don't know, something. I don't know. But it has some battle scars too.
Mine's probably 10 years.
So
Anyway, it's not a
It's a
Selmer.
beautiful
I
instrument.
had like 2 Selmer Mark 6s that one was like a 1963 and I played the shit out of it. It had some damage happen, had to repair it. These things are really fragile. Like if I just dropped it.
Are they? They look like they're bomb proof.
No. There's
Really?
so many mechanisms in
I guess because they
buttons
are
and
pretty mechanical. I guess at
levers
the end of the
and
day.
springs and shit goes off, then doesn't sound
Hey,
right.
Mags Music 19. What are you saying no to? Like that he destroyed it?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, you're triggering our audience here. What's
Maybe
going
it's
on?
because I sold my Mark 6s and went for a cheaper horn.
Aw,
But the thing is,
poor.
like, those Mark 6s were too much liability for me to play on like the blues and rock and funk scene because I was literally just like leaving this like $8,000 saxophone just dangling out on stages all the time. And
Yeah.
people bumped into it, and thank God no one stole it in front of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at least guitars can be kind of like easily repaired at
thing's a lot
home.
cheaper.
That one, like those things, I would be even afraid to come within 10 feet of them, and then add in like the whole thing of like drunken crowds, basically, So can you guys play some more, like
Yeah.
that kind of thing, and then they knock their drink into your sax, and then suddenly it gets gummed up and whatever else. But how did you get
These
into?
saxophones get gummy.
How'd you get into horns?
I just thought it looked cool when I was 12, I think.
Really? You saw Bill Clinton on Arsenio Hall, and you're just like,
No, I went to
I
my
want to be
sister's-
president,
I went to
and
my
I need a
sister's-
sax to do it.
Yeah, I saw Clinton do the thing. It's like, shit. I
Nice.
went to my sister's recital, some dude was playing some song, and I was like, that twisty instrument looks interesting. And then you picked it up in middle school or elementary school, and I farted around on it, and I actually like kind of liked it. And then I joined this all-city band with the intention that if I joined the city band, then I could get out of going to class. That was a big influence. Like, get out of go to class, go to the city band rehearsal. Like, that's an obvious.
Yeah,
for me.
do this insanely difficult thing to get out of class. We would do all
It
those
was like
things.
not. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my parents made me practice a lot. They were pretty strict. They're like.
Where did you grow up? Hold on, Kat's got something to
You could
say.
start out
Apparently,
as a
her back
recorder
broke.
And have a better foundation to transition to it, because you have the finger dexterity and diaphragm control. There's a lot of little bits to it.
Yeah,
but
it's a very physical instrument, which is why, at least for me,
It
it's so
is.
intimidating. And Kat broke her back on a saxophone back in the day.
Yeah.
She's still recovering.
It's an
So,
instrument that
R.I.P.
you sound like
Kat.
shit on for so long, and then you finally sound good on it. So a lot of people don't want to stick through just sounding like complete shit for like years.
Right. You
Unless
you,
you-
you grew up in the city?
Yeah, I grew up in the city. And I
Nice.
went to an arts high school, so that's also what influenced me. To
Which
play
arts
more.
high school? ESA?
I went to Rosedale.
Rosedale. I didn't
and
know that was
did
an
the
arts high
thing
school.
for a couple years. Played in
Nice.
the school band, made friends. We played music, and then you just jammed. And then I went to college for music, which was like the thing to do because I didn't know what else to do.
Right.
And then I just played a fuckload more music, and then I met Josh after college in like 2013, and then we played like a ton of music.
And you guys are
Yeah.
are you guys in other bands, or
Yeah,
is this the main focus?
Ebb and flow. I've been in so many
Yeah.
bands over the last decade, but
we
I would-
played in
not
a few
anymore.
together.
Just in
Yeah.
this, really, yeah.
Well, thank God. Thank God for that. Thanks,
There
Glenn.
you go.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Thanks for
I don't
sticking
know,
around.
Everything that came out of the wash is this group of I love playing with Josh.
Well, you guys are fantastic, and you deserve each other, to be honest, because you gel so well together, and you're so tight. And I see what's called, like, I call it bandwork, where you guys give each other the nod or like a little hand gesture here and there. And you guys automatically know where to go, because I think that kind of thing is very difficult to learn, especially with new bands or bands that don't spend enough time together. Like just the eye communication, the hand communication, even just moving your neck a certain way, you know exactly where to go. Because I saw you handed off, I think it was during Valerie, where Josh, you handed off to Graham just by like turning to him like a quarter turn. And he already knew where to go. And like, obviously you guys rehearsed, but it's still that instinct to basically communicate. And I call that the fifth instrument, the bandwork.
It's so true. There's a lot of that goes on. Like for anybody who's ever come to one of our sets, I mean we, in different contexts we've rehearsed quite a bit. So we're pretty tight as far as that goes. But that's one of those things that Nick and I have worked on that in many different contexts together. We also have played in many different bands together. But that sort of trust and communication and comfort, right? Like I think one of the best tests that I've heard is when you can look at each other while you're playing, like then you've got into a level of gelling that is, not easy to come by.
Not at
You
all.
know?
And nobody's saying, hey, solo for 24 bars on this one. They're not saying
You already
giving
know.
bars or anything.
Yeah,
No,
you
solos
feel
are
it.
open because you don't know where somebody's going to go with what they're playing.
Yeah.
And, like sitting back here with the great rhythm section just opens things up.
Especially the rhythm section, because you guys are the timekeepers and you have to be more than anyone else in the band. You guys got to be on top of that because it's timed out, but timed out by a feel almost. For those of you who have been in music school, is that something that they teach? I'm always curious, like that kind of like signaling to each other.
Graham,
thing.
are we both Humber alumni?
You went to Harvard too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sick.
Wow, look at this.
Talking
We're
about,
breaking
like,
barriers here.
communicating and
Have you guys
rehearsing.
talked
I
before?
finished in 2013.
Hey, Graham, here.
My
you know.
time, I'm not going to date myself on
Okay.
it,
There you
but
go.
My time was before
There was
2015.
just a lot of
Rail meet
people
Graham,
there to
Graham
play
meet
with.
Rail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
was
that's
just like
the
They don't. Do they teach this? So they don't teach that in school,
no,
Well,
in
well,
music school. It's
I
just
don't think
something
it's
you learn on
something
stage.
taught per se. It's like, yeah, like there's like communicate on stage. I'm gonna give you the solo thing,
Yeah.
but no, it just becomes like a second nature kind of. You're working with people and you're like, hey, and then sometimes it doesn't work out too. Sometimes like. You send a signal and no one receives and you're like, oh, was that my fault? Did I do a shitty one? Think about it and you're like, wait,
Canon
no,
has
and then or you
happened,
missed a cue and you just played the wrong section. You
Yeah.
do that a bajillion times until you figure out not to do that.
Son of Mari knows what we're talking about. It says it's telepathic almost. That's true.
There's
It's
just
so
like
true.
a feel, like,
Because
when
if
you work
you're
with people.
studying jazz, you're going through, especially like where you're learning to play a lot of jazz standards, and there's forms to it, whether you're playing an AABA form, then where hopefully where the top
Yeah, the
is,
forms.
and then you're coming back around. Either somebody's going to take another course on it, or you're going back out, play the head out and whatnot. But I think that will give a lot of younger musicians who are studying, who are learning, and getting their formative training, that kind of ability to be able to open things up and have that sort of more interpersonal thing in their playing with other musicians, because it teaches you how to react to everybody else on stage, kind
Yeah,
of know
a
where
lot of
things are going.
reacting. Yeah.
And, as long as you got that general sense.
And like listening too, if you're a good listener,
Yeah.
that's important.
Yeah,
And everybody's
can hear
train
where
wrecked
the
a few
song is
here or
going.
there, so.
I've been around like
Everybody's train wrecked.
I've been around some musicians who have just who are amazing musicians, but they could not get the concept of looking at other people in the band while they're playing. And so
Shoegaze, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they miss cues and all
It
kinds of
happens.
things.
It's like social grace.
I
too,
just
like,
blame weed. I blame weed. That's what I blame. This is they get into their own. They get into a crazy flow state. No, I'm just kidding. Us being in Canada here, we love our accessibility to the green stuff, and so we do appreciate that and what it adds to the creativity of stuff going on. And Housecat just left the building. I don't know. I think she's going to the little girl's room, and we're gonna figure it out. So let's. She knows better than to walk in during a set. Let's get on to another tune. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it. Studio Sessions, lucky number 13 with the Josh Lopez Band. Take it away, boys.
If love is a battlefield, girl, you're gonna get me killed. I'm sitting this hole in the dirt. I'm bruised and I'm battered. I'm tired and I'm weary. You see the blood stains on my shirt. I don't know what to do. Drop my gun from my hand. I need some relief. Won't you pull me out of no man's land? I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I fight to be beside you. I took down every man in my way. I'm crawling through the desert, ain't had a drink of water for 40 nights and as many days. Well, love is a minefield, lined with broken hearts of the past. We ain't the first to be here, we sure as hell ain't gonna be last. But with you there's no winning, when this love would be a sin. You got me fighting battles in this unholy war. Unholy war. Girl, you never needed to fight for my love, 'cause it's yours. But one-way love, it's been the start of so many wars. Girl, you keep on running, ask yourself what you're running from. Girl, it's been a good run, but I'm tired of being an army of one. 'Cause with you there's no winning, when this love would be a sin. You got me fighting battles in this unholy war. Unholy war. 'Cause with you there's no winning, when this love would be a sin. You got me fighting battles in this unholy war. Unholy war. 'Cause with you there's no winning, when this love would be a sin. You got me fighting battles in this unholy war.
Kapow! Fuck. So good. So good. Love it. Love that like classic blues sound. It's a lot of stuff, and Kat's welcome back, Kat. Coming back into the studio, hanging out. Big shouts going out to the house cat. And this is the Josh Lopez Band here in the P6 Live Media Studio. Studio sessions, lucky number 13, doing our thing. That tune right there. Explain a little bit of about that tune. Why you play that one?
Because people say that love is many things, right? People they say that love is a game, love is a drug, love is love is an illusion.
Many a splendid thing.
Yes, many a splendid thing. I think that love is a battlefield, to be honest with you, and that's what inspired that too.
Hold on, battlefield as in what? How many battles have you been through? You're a veteran?
Of the heart? Many.
Many battles of the heart.
Many. Haven't we all?
I guess that's right.
Yeah.
That's why I guess blues is that universal language, because it has equal amounts of love and pain involved in it, right?
It does, but you know the nice thing about it is that it turns it into something beautiful. It turns it into art.
Yeah.
Which is a healthy way to grapple with those
to digest that.
emotions.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and from your perspective, explain the persistence of blues music, especially within live music. Its influence within live music. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of whether you know it or not, right? I mean, the blues has influenced you. It's ingrained into the North American expression of music, right? It's in everything that we do. Uh, that's not a very academic way to put it, I guess, but it's there, right? It's there. It's been a constant throughout all forms of music. The way that I understand it, which is colored by my experience, is that I love a lot of different kinds of music, but the lenses through which I understand it or experience it will always be through blues, and that's really helped me. We've talked about how we've played together in many different contexts and in different groups, different styles of music. Having a grounding in the blues has always helped me operate in those different environments. Whether it's reggae or country or rock and roll or pop, the blues is the common denominator, right? And it's just been so persistent. I think that even when it's not at the forefront of popular music, it's still very present.
Yeah.
You
can hear it
it's
literally,
still there.
its influence in literally every style of music. It was almost like the original hip hop in the sense that like it came from a counterculture, a counter music culture where it came from, poor working class or even the slave movement. Like there was a lot of it embedded in that. And the emancipation movement, there was a lot of it embedded in that. And even post-emancipation with like the chain gangs and all that kind of stuff. It was almost embedded into the soul. And it spoke of and maybe I am getting a little bit more academic about it, but it spoke of a tension in society almost. And it always had that. It always contained that within that 12-bar structure. It was just, it's insane that its relevance and its persistence to this day still continues. And that's why I love this style that you are bringing to the table in terms of just getting a real pure bluesy kind of vibe and bringing it in its purest form to the stage, because a lot of bands kind of do that, but you in this band out of anyone that I've heard recently in the Toronto scene has done that incredibly well, and like you capture that almost perfectly. But in case Nick thinks I'm gonna miss him on this one, get on that mic, quiet one. Get on that mic. Get on that mic. I got questions here, Nick. Nick, you're. I mean, because of this camera, the size doesn't really show, but you're really tall for a drummer. He's like, how far can I move this drum kit out? Because my limbs are like 35 feet long. Yeah. I'm just like, however much you can, but you still got to close that door. And the running joke in the studio is that, the drum room remains locked because the drummer's going to go run away with the gear. So we'll let you out of there as soon as you answer these questions. But in the meantime, how did you get to the drum? How did you get being a timekeeper? Tell me all your secrets.
How did I get the drums? So my mother always said, I think it's like the typical drummer story. I was hitting pots and pans and just hitting stuff, and I always had a lot of energy. She was like, and so I should start saying my mother is a multi-instrumentalist and singer, and so she wanted like the family band kind of thing, and so she kind of tried to analyze us and think about what suits us, and she thought she put in my head that I was going to play drums. So as long as I can remember being alive, I was like, yeah, I want to be a drummer.
Yeah, and she put up with that. She put up with like you slapping pots and pans, or just like, okay.
Yeah.
So your mom was just like, okay, he's gonna slap pots and pans, which are incredibly annoying for any parent, I would imagine. And so maybe created like a room and actually got you a set of drums. Hold on, before we go there, you have an accent, obviously, and I'm trying to peg it. Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Trinidad.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep.
That's fake news. That's gotta be fake news.
Yeah, I get that all the time. my mother and my eldest brother, who's also a drummer. He's a really good drummer, John, or Otto. They're both still in Trinidad, and I have another brother too. He moved to Canada before I did, probably about 5 years before I did.
Nice. What are their names?
The brother right above me is Drew.
Drew. Big
And
shouts going out to Drew. I know
yeah.
if Drew's not watching right now, he's going to watch soon.
Shout out to Drew.
Big shouts going out to Drew.
And then John.
Big
or
shouts to
everybody
John.
calls him Otto, the eldest
Otto.
brother. Great drummer.
Nice. And so you caught their bug, eh? That's
Yes.
good. That's
Yeah,
awesome. I have so many questions, like growing up in Trinidad, like being a musician, and obviously like if I was like, this guy's Trinidadian, I'm like, that might not, story doesn't shake out, right? But like, so I have questions about growing up not looking like a traditional Trinidadian, also playing music, because I mean, the Caribbean is notorious for its rhythms, right? So you probably learned with the best of them, right?
Oh, there's a lot of great drummers in Trinidad, yeah.
Yeah, so that
And
explains
we have
everything.
Steel pan, which is like, it's like drumming with notes, so I guess kind of like
Yeah.
xylophone or marimba, but it's in the pan.
Yeah.
And there's usually like a 10-piece rhythm section and drummer along with like the 8-piece steel band. So yeah, it's exciting, an exciting place to be a drummer.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So what brought you to Canada then?
So I came to Canada first to perform with Sheldon Holder.
Sheldon
if
Holder.
you're
Big
watching-
shouts going out to Sheldon
Shout out
Holder.
to Sheldon.
Yeah.
Sheldon Holder.
And that's how I met Graham. Joshua and Rail I met at supermarket. And then Joshua came and played with Sheldon shortly
Nice.
after we met him. So we have a few years of playing with Sheldon, and I used to play with Sheldon in Trinidad. I've been playing with him for about, at this point, it's probably like 13 years.
Yeah.
14 years. And
Do you ever go back?
yes, I typically go back at least once a year.
Yeah.
Try to do twice, but since the pandemic, I haven't been home, and that's,
Right.
yeah.
And when you go back, do you play?
Not really too much. I
You
might
just
jam
visiting
a little bit,
family?
but I usually go home for like a week or two.
Yeah, just to
Two max. Yeah.
visit the fam jam,
Just
get the
run
fam
all
jam
over the
going.
place,
Yeah,
seeing my friends and
Nice.
family, and then
that's the
back
way to
up
do
and
it.
feels like the blink of an eye. every time
Wow,
visit.
I would have never guessed Trinidad. That's crazy. That's awesome. That blows my mind straight up. But well, I'm so glad that you found these guys and these guys found you, and obviously you are a perfect addition to this band. The first time I saw you was actually at Handlebar for that last gig, and I was just like,
Fun night.
I was like, who's this new drummer? Who's this new drummer on this scene? Who's this new guy? And obviously you're not new, but you were new to me, and I appreciated listening to you. And you're fantastic on the drums, and you've honed your craft perfectly well. I mean, you completely reassembled that drum kit in like, I don't know, record time. So I'm very impressed with you. Very impressed.
And I appreciate you appreciating me.
That's the way it goes. And he's talking like a typical drummer. All right, yeah, that makes sense. Kat, how are we doing back there? What are you feeling?
I'm great. Are you
She-
guys
She's great. She's great. We're all great.
Solid.
Everyone's great. Hydration check for everyone tuned in at home. If you have a drink on this kind of warmish Thursday night, hold them up. And Son of Mari saying, let's go, Nick. Of course, Nick is the best and the last. Here we go. We're going to go on to another tune. What do you guys think? All right, let's nail it. Where are we in the playlist here?
So this tune, every Filipino male around my age probably grew up with Boys to Men.
No way you're doing a Boys to Men tune?
Yeah. So
Oh, amazing.
this is a tune that I really love. They were
of the road.
oh,
No, are
one
we
day,
doing-
one day, we're
One
gonna
day
do
you're
that
gonna
one.
do that one.
Yes.
That would be fun.
Been working on it for 7 years.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
But yeah, this is one of the things that I really enjoy is taking sort of my own personal favorites and putting my own spin on them, and the boys did a beautiful job with this tune. This is an old Boys to Men tune, well, really new edition. I grew up with the Boys to Men version.
I'm so excited to hear this right now. You have no idea.
Me too. I
I'm
never get tired of
super
it, which is
excited.
nice.
All right. Okay, let's take it away. Let me get off this stupid mic here.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. If that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Because I need somebody who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Sunny days, everybody loves them. But can you stand the rain? The storms will come, this we know for sure. Can you stand the rain? A love unconditional. I'm not asking this of you. But girl, to make it last, I'll do whatever needs to be done. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand by me. When it's tough, she won't run. She will always be right there. Sunny days, everybody loves them. But can you stand the rain? The storms will come, this we know for sure. But can you stand the rain? 'Cause I want you, and I need you, and I know. Tell me, baby.
so sexy. Cat approves. How do you guys feel about the fact that you just got a bunch of people pregnant tonight? How do you feel about that?
Sounds expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive. Don't worry, they're not going to come calling. You are not the father. Yeah, so like when I put like sexy tunes in the title, you just delivered right there, man. That is a beautiful, beautiful cover. Beautiful cover.
Thank you. One of my favorite Boys to Men tunes.
Absolutely. And
Or New Edition.
New Edition. That's so good. I don't. Big shouts going out to Hex. Why do people create these crazy names? I can't even pronounce them. Kat knows what I'm talking about. I have weird. Hex or Lotus, and apparently that's Eric. Eric. Saying, hey Josh, glad to see that you still enjoy playing music. Amazing as always, Eric.
Thank you.
Nice.
Brother.
You know Eric? Who's Eric?
Eric and I, we go way back. Yeah, we used to work together.
Nice.
Yeah, we've been through some shit, man. We've been through, but we're like in better places now.
Well, that's
yeah,
good.
I still see you, bro. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I miss you.
Eric,
Call me sometime, bro.
Eric, I hope you got someone pregnant tonight. But if you did, don't come calling Josh. That's the moral of the story tonight. We are not paying any child support here at the P6 Live Media Studios, Studio Sessions, lucky number 13. We've got House Cat behind us here. Big up House Cat, holding down the fort. We got the Josh Lopez Band with Rail on the bass. We got Graham on the brass. And we got Nick on the tubs. Kicking it live. Let's go to the next tune. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Nick, you want to count this one off?
Okay. Settle down, guys. What the hell was that? That was beautiful. But you know what?
Thank you.
I feel like I was robbed because Nick didn't get a solo. What the hell? What the hell, Nick? You
Oh,
have
it's
some
coming.
explaining to do.
That's all right, I'm holding it down, you know.
Hold on. Let me turn your mic on. Go for it.
I said, nah, that's good. It's all good. I'll get to watch these guys do their thing. I get to hold it down.
Who paid him off? Who paid him off? I want my drum solo, damn it. No, I'm just kidding. That was fan-fucking-tastic. And thank you to Son of Mari for the big, Tig Bitties. That's what we're going to call them. So those triangles that are going across the screen, those are what are called Twitch bits. And he, or she, I don't know, son, I guess, he has given us some bits. Appreciate that. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in for studio sessions. 13, lucky number 13, with the Josh Lopez band. Big shouts going out to the house cat back there. And we are continuing on tonight. We've got a few more tunes, right? Yeah, we got a few more tunes coming up. So we are not finished yet. And Nick, you owe us a drum solo, so make sure that you deliver, or else we're not letting you out of that room. You know that, right?
Oh boy,
It's locked. It's locked on this side. It's locked. We'll call your friends and family. Don't worry, they'll know where you are, and we'll make sure that we give the people what they want here at Studio Sessions in the P6 Live Media Studio. I'm rambling right now, only because I was just completely blown away by what I just saw. But before I ramble on even more, let's get on to the next tune. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm gonna let these guys take a break, have a libation, perhaps, and do this next one by myself.
No way. We are getting some beautiful, beautiful solo action here. This is better than OnlyFans, guys. Better than OnlyFans. We are getting a solo. So, yeah, there you go.
Some solo action, yeah.
Some solo action. Nick, who's letting you out of that room? Who forgot to lock the door? Kat, I'm looking at you. How dare you not lock that door?
I'm over here.
Yeah, no, he's over here. He's like, I'm over here. All right, you know what? I'm gonna turn the lights down low for this one.
Let's do it.
We need to get like proper. Hold on. All right, let's do it. Take it away. way. No way. No way. Holy shit. Okay, so as soon as I heard the first chords in there, I was just like, this guy playing Lenny. This guy playing Lenny. And then there was like,
Good ear.
yeah, I heard it a little bit, and then I heard Clapton roll through.
Yep.
Yeah, we got Nick playing the Clapton. I don't have the camera on you yet, Nick, but the crew is rolling back in. Holy smokes. You have no idea how much that hit me right in my chest.
Awesome.
Like
Thank you, brother.
I had a huge smile. Like I was gonna throw the camera to me. I didn't want to ruin it because it was just so beautiful.
Thank you,
And
brother.
the thing I love so much about your guitar playing is like you have that legato style down perfect. That technique where you just like everything's so fluid and it's rolling through, and it's something that Stevie Ray Vaughan had in spades. Hendrix had in spades. A whole bunch of guitar. Obviously, John Mayer has in spades.
Yep.
Like they all have that kind of rolling thing where like the frets on an instrument or the notes on an instrument are just a guideline. They're not the actual be all and end all of a note. You do that interplay with your picking hand and your fretting hand, and like it rolls in this kind of beautiful melody. And wow, that's really
Thank
what
you.
made my ears perk up originally. And I love the fact that you did that, because you know what I'm gonna do, because for the last like 3 or 4 weeks I've actually been learning Lenny.
Nice.
And I'm gonna look at that because I had the close up on your guitar for the last for most of the tune. I'm gonna be looking at that and learning all those little tricks that you have, the little licks you got going on
I
there.
was learning it too.
Wow, it's so good. Wow,
Thank you.
Holy smokes, my mind is blown. Welcome to John Boy, Johnny Guns, tuning in. A big shout out to Johnny Guns, and he's obviously loving what we got going on. And the boys are rolling back through. What is this? This is the last tune, yeah?
This is the last one.
Last
it's been-
one.
what a night it's been.
Yeah,
What a
it's
night
been fantastic, and we are actually right at that point too.
Cool.
That's good. I told you it would be 2 hours.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you were right on the
Right
money,
on the
man.
nose. I might have done this once or twice, a few times. I've been through, and so this is the last tune. So, given that, I'm not going to talk anymore. We are just essentially going to go straight offline after this tune, because I want to leave you with the best taste in your ears and your mouth at the end of the night. But do you guys have any upcoming shows slated? And if not, how can people find you guys?
We have nothing booked at the moment, but we are hoping to take advantage of the rest of this spring and summer season. Hopefully everything stays open and we can get together and play some music for everybody. But if you like what we do, you can find me on Instagram sometimes
J Latte Lopez.
at JLATTELOPEZ. You can also look that up on YouTube. I have some music there that's quite old.
Old.
So
Everything
I guess
you
you should
played
just
tonight
come to
was
the show.
old. Everything
Yeah.
you played tonight was old.
Yeah.
Not old as in like you playing it old, but like as in that there's a lot of classic tunes in it.
thank you. Everything on my YouTube is old, as in like it was a long time ago.
And you guys will get this file at the end of the night as well, so you can pop that up on your YouTube. This
We will
gonna be
definitely-
great. So
we'll
Josh
definitely do that.
Lopez, J Latte Lopez
That's it.
on Instagram. What about you, Rail?
Just gonna keep going to jams and everything. And just quick shout out to some of the jams we got going on in the city. Again, Supermarket, Tony and Steve. They've been running that for a good long while.
The Free Fall Sundays.
Free Fall Sundays.
Once a month, might be going to weekly at some point.
I believe so.
Nice.
Jessica Stewart is your new host for Clinton's.
Clinton's.
Wednesday night. They're
Once a
gonna
month
be
at
doing-
Wednesdays. They might be going weekly.
Yeah, they're gonna do 2 this month. And
Nice.
see what goes on beyond that. Handlebar happens every Tuesday. That's Nathaniel Harding's jam. Fam Jam. That's Jackson. Those guys, they do their thing Tuesdays
Yeah,
as well.
it's Tuesdays.
And hoping that Jay Pollock is going to be bringing his jam back to the Piston.
Oh, that's
shout out to
cool.
Jay
So your
Pollock.
Tuesdays are going to be
Jay
nice
Pollock.
and, busy.
Yeah, Jay.
You know, we know that like live music was the first thing to go at the beginning of the pandemic. It's
Yep.
the last thing to come back. So please, everybody, get out and support bands, support live shows.
Support live music. That's exactly why this
Love to
cast
see you.
started, and I appreciate that. And you can find Rail on Instagram at RailKBass on Instagram. RailKBass. What about you, Graham? Where can people find you?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. It's a ghost, eh?
I do my thing, and I catch me live kind of thing. But yeah, I just became a dad this year, so I'm just.
Oh, congratulations, Mazel Tov.
Thank you. Yeah,
Mazel
so all
Tov.
that fam life, home life.
Nice. So
I
if you
get
got,
it when I can.
if you want to get in touch with Graham for his awesome brass work, you can always get in touch with us at the cast here. We'll put you in touch with Graham. What about you, Nick? What do you got coming up, and how can people find you?
What do I got coming up? Not too much. Hopefully some stuff. Things are opening up a bit now. I'm excited about it. Where can people find me? I've been a bit elusive as well lately. I don't have a good excuse like becoming a father like Graham, but I haven't been on social media lately. But you can find me playing with Joshua.
Nice.
You can find me playing with Sheldon Holder, AFO. And yeah, it's Nicholas Otway, Nick Otway. At some point I might be back on the social medias, but yeah.
Perfect. And if people want to get in touch with you in the meantime, they can get in touch with us, and we will definitely put you in touch with Nick on. We'll make all the connects here. That's what we're all about. We're all about creating family, and you guys are now part of the P6 family, and I really appreciate you guys coming in.
Thank you, brother.
And again, this is the last tune of the night. Thank you for everyone tuning in. Really appreciate everyone who came in the chat. I appreciate Son of Mari for the bits. Tig Biddies coming from Son of Mari. Johnny Gunn still there. We got Eric still there. We got lots of people still in. Most didn't come in the chat. It's like, what? You got to sign up for a Twitch account just to come in the chat. It's free. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. And this show will be available to watch everywhere that the P6 Live that P6 Live post stuff. You can follow us as well at P6 Live on Instagram to find out about upcoming shows. Every Thursday we have live bands in here. Every Saturday we have live beats via DJ, the Utility Room show, which just started up. I want to thank Kat. I want to thank the band for coming in tonight. I really appreciate you guys coming in. It's been a long time coming, and you guys delivered. So without further ado, last tune. Let's take it away, and we will see you. Everyone who's watching right now, we'll see you next Thursday or next Saturday, depending on what your flavor is. Take it away, guys.
Thanks, everybody. You don't know what's in store, but you know what you're here for. Close your eyes, lay yourself beside me. Hold tight for this ride. We don't need no protection. Come along. We don't need attention. Open your hands. Take a glass. Don't be scared. I'm right here. Even though you don't roll, trust me, girl.
I know what you're feeling. It's okay, girl, I feel it too. Let it be, baby, breathe. I swear, girl, I'm right here. We'll be good. I promise we'll be so good. Open your hands, take a glass. Don't be scared, I'm right here. Even though you don't know, trust me, girl. You wanna be high for this